In this video, we're going to learn how to make this flat pack design object. It is made from separate pieces, which all lock together to make a larger phone holder. We will start by creating a document. We will call it by our name and what it is. Now it's time to make our first sketch. For this, I'm going to want to go look back at my original paper sketch. For this, we'll pop back to our original paper sketch and we'll take a look at this. The first thing I'm going to have to do is build this bottom part, which is 8 inches by 5¼ and I'll be popping back and forth to this anytime I need to know these dimensions. First thing to do is to start a new sketch. Doing that on the top plane, and then I'll look at that. Start with a rectangle. I'm going to make it 8 by 5.25. And it looked like I wanted some rounded corners on there, so I could even do that now, or not. Probably handle it later, but I'm gonna do it right now because I can. I think I want that to be 1 inch round. Might be too much. That looks a little better. And I'm going to extrude that. And the thickness of wood I've chosen is 1/4 inch wood. There's my base. Now I just have to cut some slots in it. I'll take a look at my sketch. I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 slots, 1/4 inch wide, 1 inch from the edges. I'll put a sketch here. And I'm going to put a rectangle on there. And it doesn't matter exactly where because I'm going to use dimensions to locate it. So if it's 1 inch from each edge, that thing should be 6 total. Oh wait, no it shouldn't. I made a mistake. It should be 5¼ minus 1 minus 1. So instead it should be 3.25. Now I can use my dimensioning tool to make sure it is the correct distance from the edge. If I want, I can make sure this is the same. But I am going to get an error when I put that in. Or it's going to go directly to the driven dimension, which is fine. And I think for balance, I'm going to want this distance to also be 1 inch. And now I'm going to linear pattern this across. Let's see, 3 of them, each 1 inch apart. No, I don't think I needed 3. I think I wanted 6 of them. Oh, 7 maybe. There we go. Now, one thing I do want to check is that, oh, gotta accept it. Yeah, it's okay, I can redo that. 7. I choose to double left click, they go in. And then I can also check this distance. So that's only 3/4. And I'm not sure that looks balanced. So what if I change this to 7/8? 875, then it's equal on either side. It's still not the same across here, but I'm gonna go with it. accept that sketch, extrude. And now I'm going to cut out these pockets. And remove. I like to rotate it at an angle so that I can kind of see where it's removing. Looks like it's going in the right direction, but too far. Well, the material is 0.25 thick. I'm only going to cut 1/8 of an inch or more, actually, 0.2. And I'll choose to accept that, and there we go. Now we have all our slots. Now into those slots, I'm going to have to slide these other pieces. This is a little more difficult. The easiest way to do this is to build it from here. So I'm going to put a sketch on the bottom of this pocket. That sketch plane is happening at the bottom of the pocket. Now I'm going to use this button, Project Geometry. Choose the bottom of that pocket, and I'm going to extrude upward. So I'm going to accept the sketch. Now, Project Geometry drew a box right where the bottom of the pocket is. Now, I'm going to extrude that square. Go back to my sketch so I see how far I go down. It's like 3 inches. So I'm going to make this 3 inches tall. Then I'm going to cut out the shape I want from here. So I'll put a new sketch on here. And I will draw on that, the shape that I want. Wow. What's the easiest way to do this? Probably I do this, and I'll make that 1, 2, and then I'll do another one of those in the other corner. This is by all means is not the only way to make this shape. It's just the way I think it might be easy for me. You might find it different. Then I'll accept that sketch, and I will round over the corners. Let me cut it first. Remove that and that. Again, I'll rotate so I see what I'm doing. Yeah, that looks right. Then I'm going to round over those corners and the interior corners too. I need a much bigger round than that, maybe 1 inch. That might be too big. 0.75. Yeah, that's better. Actually, I'm going to do 0.5. Here's why. If I do 0.5, then I can also do this guy. Come on. I can also do this guy 0.5. That would look nice and clean. That guy 0.5. That guy 0.5. It makes things far simpler. Look at that. Now I've got all those parts. Now there's one problem I made. This all stuck together as one giant part. Wow. So really I wanted these as separate parts. I'm going to have to go back to that extrude, whichever one it was. Now if I scroll over them, they highlight which they are. I can see that it's extrude 3. I'll double click on that. Now instead of add, I'm going to choose new. Now the difference, you see it comes in a different color. It's a separate piece, and that becomes important later on. Now fillet, doesn't like it. Extrude 4, doesn't like it. Merge, part, scope, width. Merge scope is now off. That should fix it. If you get into a situation like that, you don't know how to fix it, ask for help. I can help you. All right, that looks pretty good. It's not exactly what I was hoping for, but I can always go back and change that later on. I want to run these guys all the way across, so I'm going to throw in a linear pattern. I'll pattern this. And for direction, I'm going to choose this direction here. So I'll just choose this edge and it'll show me. All right, how many do I want? I want it 7. 1 inch apart, and there we go. So I'm going to make 7 of these. That looks good so far. And I'm going to throw a hole in there. I forgot about my hole, so let me put a sketch in. Hole, and these are for our charging cords. I don't want the charging cords to become a mess. How big? Well, I'll measure a charging cord, figure out how big that charging cord is in order to make sure that they fit. 1/2 inch should do it for a standard Android charger. So 0.5. And I also want to dimension where it is so it doesn't look messy or end up messy. So I'm going to dimension the distance here. I'll make that 0.5. And I'm going to dimension the distance from here. I could do it to the edge, I could do it to here, it doesn't really matter. And if I put that in at 1.5, do some math, that's actually going to be directly in the center here. Now I'm going to linear pattern this guy across. I don't want 3 of them, I want 7. Right? No, I don't want 7, I want 6. 6 of those. That was a double click, double left click got me that. Enter to input it, that's correct. Double left click, accepts it, and if I accept the sketch, I'll be able to extrude 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rotate it. I don't want to build, I want to remove. Now I can see what's going on. That's correct. All right, there we go.